Do. So apparently I am super late to the party and I have no excuse, right? I'm just habitually late. That's kind of what happened even when I was racing. I was always missing first practice or just showing up, almost missing sign up at times. But my excuse is I am at my brother's house. And it took me a while to set this sucker up. So you can see the dirt bikes we got. There's the Stark that Randy from his shop brought over that I'm actually going to try to ride today, maybe tomorrow a little bit on just the Stark. But I don't have any guests with me. It is the holiday. Coach Rob is driving to go see family. Sorry, I'm going to put this down so it doesn't look so freaking bad here. It is in the morning. Well, I can't really see. Yeah, there's a Stark. Show you the other bikes. So Coach isn't with us, and I don't have any other guest with me. But I figured, man, I'll still do the live show. And let me know if you guys can't hear me for some reason. All right, checking in from Houston. Merry Christmas. Yeah, so this is a nice shop. Like right before I got hurt, my brother ended up buying this place. And gosh, 23, 24. And I just told him, hey, can I just take your land? And if I get the equipment, can I start building some tracks on it? And he was like, totally. And we recently just got the track skid, and so I've been working on some stuff for all the other little kids here, and it's just a bummer because timing is never right. I wish I would have had better stuff when I was much younger, but that's just kind of how it goes. Puppies, come on, guys. Why? All right, here's my dogs, and my brother's dog is in there too. Yeah, I showed you guys a four-wheeler, but there's not a four-wheeler. But no, there's lots of cool shit in here, right? Look at how many bikes there are. Maybe it's better if I put something like here. Yeah, I don't know. Look at this here. Move this sucker here. But more than anything, I wanted to start talking a little bit about the riders that are racing in Supercross this year. And also, I wanted to do the giveaway for my Patreons and my members. I want to try to start switching that up just a tad bit as well, where I do a private live show with analyzing some of their riding techniques. And I think that would work out better because I haven't really been going up as in depth with content with that stuff. So I feel kind of bad about just what Patreon and anyway, it's one of those things. So I will do the giveaway here, but number one thing that I'm excited about for this year is that there's no more late races. You're not going to be up till midnight watching the race because the race doesn't start till 10 p.m. Eastern. The latest I think it's going to start is like 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm having a hard time sharing my screen with here. Maybe I can do it here. So here, I'm going to share screen and we're going to go here. Boom, boom, boom. I add this guy in here. Yeah, there we go. Share the freaking screen. And this is also from Racer X. But you've got the preview shows. Those are always fun to watch. And A1 is going to start at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And that's not very late whatsoever. Then you got another 6:30, 1 p.m. They've got to deal with the whole NBC. This is going to be Detroit. So that's going to be an early one. Then you got a somewhat late one in Arizona. Definitely another early one, early, really early. So I'm stoked for. Absolutely freaking stoked for. Because I don't know about you guys, I don't like staying up super late, and it's a bummer because even when you're at the races, you start getting tired and you're going, okay, I need to go to bed. Can't do it. So that is something that I think that the sport is moving in the right direction. Stark in the dark, yeah. Have never ridden one, so I'm excited to get my washed up ass to go jump some stuff with no gears. I'm a little nervous about killing it in the air, guys. To be honest, I'm super nervous about killing that SOB in the air. Can't pull the clutch in if you slam the rear brake. That is a joke because it is electric, right? And I'll get to see what the exact type is. And you guys know I've been incredibly critical about electric bikes to where I'm like, oh, they're super good. They're going to be good for the sport. And good to hear that you are. Okay, Mr. Average, you're going to have to tell me what that is because I don't understand what you're saying there. I've always been saying good things about the electric bikes and that how much that I want an electric bike. And the reason why I want an electric bike is for the sheer fact that there's less maintenance, supposedly. I'm sure the batteries and everything, like the stand alone on this sucker. This stand is the heaviest stand I've ever held because it's the generator. It's not the generator, but it's in the inverter. So you'll have to plug it into your generator, and then that can plug in to the motorcycle, which I totally get. But there's just some things I didn't really realize about the Stark, and I'm sure we all have seen some stuff. It's basically a cell phone for the front. You know, like this guy pops out here, and it's an Android phone that they do all this stuff. I'm sure at some point there'll be some sort of an upgrade to the point where you could use your own, here I'm clicking stuff on my laptop, where you could use your own iPhone or something. I kind of, my first impression on that is it's a little cheesy. It's a little cheesy because why is a cell phone? But then it also makes me think, well, okay, why wouldn't it be a cell phone? And then you could use your iPhone or something just to load up the Stark app, and you could be able to go. Actually, we were talking about in the garage last night that we could load Tinder onto. We could jailbreak the Stark cell phone, and we could load Tinder onto it, and we could jump and we could start swiping left and right. Not practical, absolutely not practical. But this front part is completely carbon fiber, which to me means it's going to be expensive if you break it. The rear fenders, somebody's already wheelied over on this sucker. It's got the nice little crease in it. The guys that I've talked to that were riding a couple of them, they say that the knobbies have been ripping off or anything. So I'll give my honest opinion on what I think, because again, I've been very critical saying how good these suckers are, but until I actually ride one, we'll see. Because there's nothing like riding a combustion motorcycle. The first time I rode a Suron, I don't know, I didn't like it because you go into a corner and you're trying to, even the Suron, the thing I didn't like about the Suron was the back brake was on the handlebars. So when I was trying to go into the corners, I was trying to lean forward and push down, and nothing happened, right? And so it sucked because there's not a brake pedal there. But I'm getting off onto a little tangent here before my freaking laptop dies. And I know I've been changing this up between noon to 8:30, just trying some different things, and I want to give some better content to everybody. But as far as the actual riders, right? A1 is coming up. It's going to be a West Coast deal. And who are the guys that we have? Gas. You got Ryder D, okay, which is pretty cool. He was a Cowie guy for a while, and he left. I think that's a good move for him. Is he going to do well? I think he's going to do exceptionally well, right? Ryder D is honestly one of the guys that I think could potentially surprise people with quite a bit of podiums. If we're going to Honda, who is it going to be? It's going to be Joe Shimoda. He's going to win the series. We basically pretty much know that the West Coast Championship is going to be Joe Shimoda. The Sushi, right? I kind of feel bad about calling him Sushi because all the comments I got about talking about the Jap bikes, because they are Japanese bikes. But anyway, the kid kicks ass, and he's going to win the West Coast. And who do you know who's not on the West Coast? It is going to be Deegan. That is a strategy for sure. Do I think Deegan can beat Joe? I do. But as a business, as Star Yamaha, what is it that you're wanting to do? You're wanting to set your guys up for success. And part of setting yourself up for success is making sure that the fastest guy isn't there that you're racing against. So Deegan is going to be on the East Coast. Levi Kitchen for Pro Circuit. I think that's a good move for him. He's fast. He wins races. He's hot or cold. He'll either be 10th or he'll be second to first. And that was on that Star Yamaha. I do think that there's a dynamic going on that team where a lot of the resources are being brought just to Deegan for the 250 class. And I think that's why you see some riders that are leaving, just like Levi Kitchen. So for Pro Circuit, that is going to be his biggest contender for the West Coast. For Joe, is going to be Levi. That's the battle we're going to see. RJ, still racing strong on the Husky. The old man, per se, because, you know, he's over 30 and you're in the 250 class. The rules are changing to where he's going to mark out, especially if he wins a championship this year. But they're trying to keep it to where you don't have the Mike Browns show up for the 250 class, because you want to have the up-and-coming kids that come out of Loretta go straight, the futures go straight to the 250 class, not have racing against old men, right? And because 30 is, you're basically an old guy, right? It'd be like me trying to sign up there. Not that I would even qualify for the night show anymore, because I'm terrified of whoops at this point. So, but it'd be equivalent because of my age. I'm 33. Phil, another old guy, going to be racing the 250 class. Okay, another old guy, fast guy. He's led some races. He's been out front for the Super Motocross. I think he's going to be a top 10 guy on the West Coast. Marchbanks is going to be on club. Big SOB. Podium, right? Probably going to tell him that he needs to lose 20, 30 pounds to be able to manhandle that 250 to where he's a little bit lighter. I know that's contradicting. Bigger you are, the more you can manhandle it. But there's a point when you get too big, it's harder to race against guys that are much smaller than you. Max Volan, he's going to be on Pro Circuit. That's probably a good move for him. KTM, he had his shot. I'm honestly surprised that he still has a shot at a factory team on Pro Circuit, but we'll see what he can do. He got, I believe, a couple of podiums last year. At least he was running up front for a while, and he's definitely has the speed, but we really haven't seen the complete Max Volan that we were when he wasn't a professional. Nate Thrasher on Star. Okay, so if I'm coming, and then Jordan Smith as well on the Star Yamaha. Those guys are going to be hard to beat, but I really think the battle is going to be between Levi and Joe. The podium, I think it's going to be one of those star guys. You're going to have Nate or Jordan Smith, and then Julian Beaumer with KTM as well. Don't know. We know how fast he is. Do I think he's going to be the championship contender? No. Do I think he's a wild card to where he could win a race? Absolutely. Absolutely. But not sure. East Coast 250s. Who's going to win the East Coast? Well, we know it's going to be a Star Yamaha. What Star Yamaha is that going to be? Well, the most popular Star Yamaha rider. That's going to be Deegan. Deegan. Absolutely. Going to be Deegan. My Wi-Fi is going out here. Might be because I'm in a big metal tin box here. My boy. Okay. I'm a fanboy of Tom Vial ever since he's been winning some championships at MX2. Didn't even go to MX1. He, like Prado, and win a championship before coming over to Supercross. He just says, no, I'm moving straight over to America. I want to see what all the fuss is about. I want to try to make some more money, see what the fast pace is. Going to move to California, going to do that whole thing. So, Tom Vial, he's been struggling with whoops. That's what kept him down last year. He's good at starts. Do I think he can get better starts than Deegan? Yes, but he's going to need to make Deegan make a mistake, or he's going to need to just put himself in a position to where he's out front, not the fastest guy. Deegan crashes, does something, and boom. So I want to say that he's going to be a championship contender. The first couple of races will shed some light on that. Pro Circuit, Seth Haymaker and Austin Forkner. Austin Forkner, if he doesn't make it this time, he's just moving up to 450. I'm calling it right now. He's moving up to 450. Honestly, I think he's going to move up to 450 regardless. His entire career has been on that 250. We know he's fast. He's was the shit. He had the Bubba Stewart effect where nobody thought that they could beat him. And then he hurt himself, and a guy by the name of Ryan Dungey comes out. But in Bubba's case, he did the whole Bubba's World reality show for a couple years, and guys got used to winning. So once he came back, here's another guy that came up that wasn't used to the same old song and dance where Stewart's going to pass and he's going to run away from you. And it kind of deflated the whole ego of you can't beat James Stewart. And I think that's what happened with Austin Forkner. Take enough time off, somebody's going to come up and they don't want to relinquish winning. So Forkner's been having a hard time ever since. But good call on Pro Circuit Cowie to have him race the East Coast. I mean, he's injured. Same thing with Seth Haymaker. They've had some injuries. That's why they're going to be racing the East Coast. And then Casey Cochran, right? For Husky. He's going to do the futures on the West Coast so that he can qualify for East Coast and go pro. That's a wild card, but we saw how well that worked for Deegan. He ended up getting fifth in his futures race, and then he ended up winning a race and then being the Super Motocross World Champion at the end of the year on his first year. Amazing. So if he has even a little bit of the same, what's the right word? Can't think of it. Maybe somebody in the chat can help me out here. If he can have any of the same kind of luck that Deegan had, we're going to see him on the podium. I think he should be top 10. Top 10 should be his goal. Just get his feet wet because there's a lot of fast guys there. Club MX, you got Martin, another old man. Club MX is full of old guys. Love the team. Mike does a good job with the team over there. They got a lot of support. A lot of people end up racing there that are doing arena cross, and a lot of different teams train over there. They've got an amazing facility. So, but their team is full of definitely old guys. This is what's cool here. Not completely, because then they got a young guy, Jet Reynolds. Look at me just insert foot, mouth. Jet Reynolds, young kid. He's the youngest kid that they have on their team. Cody Schock. He's been up and coming. This is honestly one of the bigger rides for him. I'm excited to see what he can do on a decent bike because we know that Yamaha is fast. And then Triumph, Jalik Swoll, and then Evan Ferry. Really have high hopes for Evan Ferry on the Triumph. So for the East Coast, the most thing that I'm excited about, it's not Deegan winning the championship. It's seeing that Triumph bike out there doing laps because we haven't seen what it is. We all thought it looked like a KTM, but then it's got some key differences to it. And there's been a lot of money behind there. And then you got Bobby Hewitt, I believe, that is the team manager. He was the old guy, old team manager for Jason Anderson and everybody over at Husky. So they've got a good team over there. For Honda, we've got Hymus. That's another wild card. Man, it's cold in here. It's cold in here. Here in Colorado, it's 38 degrees. I'm cold now that I'm freaking potentially a Arizona boy at this point. And then the biggest wild card I'd have to say is the Firepower Honda, right? You've got Max Anstine, the Australian Supercross champion, and I believe, was he the 250 World Supercross champion? God, man, I should know that. But he's had an amazing year. Won East Rutherford. It was the big mud race where it was RJ came sliding in and taking some guys out. I ended up winning that race. That was pretty dang cool. And then for Gas, Pierce Brown. So if I had to give my predictions, it's going to be Deegan, Tom Viall, and who's going to be third? Gosh. Third. Anstey. Let's just say Anstey gets third for the championship for the East Coast over there. That's over all the Triumph boys. That's over all the Club MX guys, all the Husky guys, all the Pro Circuit guys. That is my prediction. 450s, okay, into the good stuff at this point. Then I'll do that giveaway. Because like I said, I want to do a live show with, I'm analyzing some guys to help them get better as riders rather than just giving away silly gift cards and everything every month, right? That's kind of what I want to do. Maybe make one of these live shows behind there, but I don't know. And then you guys got to let me know. Oh, you guys are thinking Faulkner is going to be the East Coast champ. All right. Okay. I hear you. That would be sweet if he beats Deegan for sure. But on to the 450s. Obviously, the fan favorite is, I can't even say obviously, because you've got Eli Tomac, and then you've got the Lawrence brothers. Jet, who's bigger of a fan favorite, the Donuts or the silent killer of Eli? I don't know. I think for everybody over the age of 30, they're going to be Eli fans. Everybody younger, they're going to be Jet fans. So that's a pretty good clash of the Titans per se. But that is the battle right there. And then you've got guys sneaking up there. Cooper Webb, never been the fastest guy, but has great racecraft of getting up front and waiting for somebody else to make a mistake and capitalizing on it. That's what he's good at. Now that he's on the best bike, arguably, in the paddock, we'll see what happens. But he's got to get in front of all of the riders. Justin Cooper. He's racing on the Yamaha as well, I believe, over at Star. So I think he's just the fill-in guy that's going to be top 10 per se. KTM, AP, Aaron Plessinger, and Sexton. I sort of said it on the preview show. I just made a silly comment. I really think that Sexton is going to win the championship. I think it's going to be Eli. I think he's going to be the Hunter brothers. I'm saying that Sexton is going to win on his KTM. First time on a new bike. Boom. That's my prediction. Sexton wins. Then it's the battle for second. Aaron Plessinger, he almost won a race last year, and then things kind of fell apart. And it was really like the last couple laps when he endoed, which sucked. So with the stacked field, we'll see what he can do. But I don't think he's going to win another race. Gas, Prado. Biggest thing I think is holding up Prado is the whoop speed. Right, I'm going to move my computer around because the Wi-Fi is all jacked up. Let me move this down here. We got the Stark. And Barsha, is he healthy? That's the question. Is Barsha healthy after everything that's been going on with him? Husky, you got Malcolm Stewart, who we know is fast. No, Malcolm Stewart is fast. He's arguably the best guy in the whoops. And then you got Christian Craig. Christian Craig is a solid rider that can be up front. Top 5 guy for sure. Malcolm, he has the speed to win a race, but can he not make a mistake? That's what I want to know from you guys. Suzuki, Ken Roczen. It's hard to pick a winner. I already said Sexton, but you got Kenny. You got the Lawrence brothers, right? Prado, I don't think he's going to be able to win any races because he's only racing the first 3. I think the whoop speed is going to be a struggle for him. But Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence. It's stacked. Absolutely freaking stacked. Jason Anderson coming back from his broken neck from last year and AC. Those guys are in the mix. Do I think that they're fast enough to win races? I think Jason Anderson is. AC is fast enough to get podiums, lead some laps. We'll see if he's got that nerve issue done in his hand, because if you can't hold on, you're not going to be able to finish 20-plus laps. Then you've got Dylan Ferrandis on the Phoenix Honda. He's on the Phoenix Honda. That, to me, if he gets a podium, that's like winning a race right there. Dino, Australian Supercross champ, he's going to do the Firepower Honda route. So, again, they get on a podium, that's like winning a race. And then you've got Benny Bloss and Colt Nichols on the Beta. If they get a podium, that's like winning a race. Abso-freaking amazing if something like that happens. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments. Who do you think is going to be your East Coast champ? I'm saying it's going to be Joe. Who do you think is no. East Coast is going to be Deegan. West Coast 250 is going to be Joe Shimoda. And then 450s, I'm saying Sexton. Let me know what you guys think there. And let me get into the $50 giveaway. Just got to share this thing so that we can move it. And how this works is my channel members and my Patreon supporters. And whoever wins, I'm going to message you, or if I don't know you, message on Patrick Spencer. The sport gift card, homie. I'm going to message you, and if I can't find your email because you're a YouTube member, because YouTube doesn't give me that information, Patreon does, just message me on Instagram, and I'll send you an email once I get that information from you, and I can get it sent over to you. So Merry Christmas, my friend. Oh, Michael saying a Sexton in Hampshire. That's pretty sweet. Well, guys, that is the live show for today. MX Unfiltered, episode 11. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. Make sure you go spend some time with family and be grateful. Be grateful for stuff. Doesn't matter what your situation is. Comparison is the theft of joy. The goal is just try to be better than what you were last year, whether that's on these silly motorcycles. You only live once, right? So you got to YOLO. And until next time, keep it WFO. Ba-ra-da-da-da-da. Oh, oh.